Hi, we're here at Ralph's Auto with Mr. Douglas Hunt today, and we're going to ask Douglas some questions. Douglas, what do you do for Ralph's Auto?
I'm the general manager. I'm in charge of the day-to-day operation of the company. I hire a lot of the counter staff, and I let the manager of each location hire the yard staff.
So when it comes to human resource issues and management, would you say you're the one whose shoulders that falls on?
Pretty much, yeah. A lot of the guys need input. I help them out.
Well, first, how long have you been working for Ralph?
20 years. 20 years. 12 years as a general manager.
And how many employees is Ralph responsible for?
75 to 100, roughly.
Okay, sorry.
You good?
Go ahead.
All right, so what methods do you generally go about in hiring for Ralph's Auto?
Well, what we do is we run ads in the newspaper. A lot of times we'll have signs at each location. Word of mouth is a big thing for employment. A lot of people, it's through friends of employees and things like that.
Okay. And how many stages are there in the hiring process?
There's usually about 4 stages. It's usually the fill out the job application, meet and greet, review the application, call the person in, and you give them a 30-day trial period and see how they do.
So most of the applicants that are applied to your job postings, how many usually proceed to the second stage?
I would say probably 1 out of every 10 you get, when it's an employer's market, there's a lot of people looking for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't have a lot of staff turnover, you can't always hire everybody. So.
Yeah, of course. So here at Ralph's Auto, what kind of workplace safety training procedures are put in place for the new hires?
For every new hire, we have an employee policy and procedure manual, and in that there's safety, and they have to review all of that before they're hired. When they get hired, what happens is a senior yard person will take them through all the stages, and I'll show them all the equipment that they're going to use. We also have forklift training and things like that.
Is WHMIS training a part of it, or?
WHMIS is covered in it. A lot of our stuff, the fluids and that are removed before it goes out into the yard, or any of the other employees have to touch the vehicles or come in contact with them. But there's WHMIS books and safety books at each location.
What kind of mechanical and physical conditions do employees face at Ralph's Auto?
You have to have a working knowledge of the automobile and how it works, how the parts work for your own safety. Other than that, you don't have to be really physically fit. If there's anything like any place of employment, you shouldn't be lifting more than 50 pounds, you get assistance. We have equipment to help with heavy stuff.
What kind of work-related behavior problems have you faced on the job that have led to unsafe accidents?
Usually you don't have a lot of incidents. If people don't want to work safe, then usually you don't have them working for you.
Okay.
It's just part of employment.
Fair enough.
You know, accidents do happen, and you know, when you do have an accident, you like to review it and make sure that it's not going to happen again.
How do you go about preventing work accidents?
Training, teaching the new employees how the safe way of using things, how things should be done.
Do you have any legal requirements for the new hires, or?
They need to have a social insurance number. That's about the only legal thing that they have to have.
So what are some examples of legal issues that auto supply companies such as Ralph's Auto face?
As long as you're up on the labor standards and that, you don't usually run into a lot of legal issues. You know, you have to know what the employees are allowed to do and not allowed to do.
Well, thank you for taking your time here to do this interview. One last question. Do you, as a human resource manager of Ralph's Auto, have any advice for me or my peers as human resource management students to help us in our future of our career?
Be friendly, be nice and polite, be up on your labor standards, helps a lot. Know what questions you can and can't answer.
Great. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Thank you. These now, you
Yeah.
can't switch because you're going to have different positions.
Yeah.
So it's maybe one or the other then.
Okay, we're going?
Yeah, it's been really
Okay,
for a while.
Hi, we're here with Douglas Hunt at Ralph's Auto to discuss some questions on human resource management. Doug, how long have you been at Ralph's Auto?
20 years. I'm the general manager. I'm in charge of our 6 locations. I hire counter staff, and I leave it up to the managers to hire the yard staff. If they need help, I give them help.
And when it comes to human resource management related problems or issues, you would be the man to see.
Yes, yes.
How many employees do you presently have working for Rouse Auto?
Roughly 75 to 100 employees. It's up and down.
Okay. And
So what methods do you generally go about in hiring new employees for Rouse Auto, and how are they posted?
Well, we run ads in the paper, help wanted ads. We have signs at each location. A lot of it's word of mouth. We get a lot of customers coming in that can pull parts, so a lot of them sometimes are looking for work through fellow employees.
And how many stages do you have in your hiring process?
There's 4 stages. It's usually the greet and meet, fill out the application, review of the application, and then the interview and the 3-month trial period.
And of the applicants who apply to your job postings, how many usually make it to the second stage at least?
Probably 1 out of every 10. You don't have a lot of turnover, so you can't hire everybody. It depends if it's an employer's market or not.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of workplace safety training procedures are put in place for new employees?
Every new employee has to fill out an employee job. Actually, what did I call them? I kind of blew it there, didn't I? Every new employee goes through a policies and procedures manual. In that, there's a safety issues that they have to go through. They get trained by a senior employee. They get training on how to use the equipment, how to operate the forklifts and stuff. We do offer forklift training on site.
Is WMIS a part of it, or?
WMIS is a part of the manual. There's WMIS manuals and safety manuals in every location. A lot of the fluids for our vehicles are removed before they're put out in the yard where the employees have to go pull parts. So that's taken care of by senior people.
what kind of physical conditions do employees face at Rouse Auto?
There's not a lot of physical, anything that's over 50 pounds, they usually get someone to help them with, to lift and that. You do have to have a working knowledge of the automobile, how the parts work, to be safe.
What kind of behavioral problems do you face that can lead to unsafe accidents?
There's not a lot of behavioral problems. If you don't want to work safe, you usually don't stay on the job. If you do have incidents, you learn from them and you figure out how you're not going to have those problems again.
Is there a method that you would go about in preventing workplace accidents?
Training and making sure that everybody works together. They have monthly safety meetings at each location. They teach each other and learn from each other.
So what kind of legal requirements are needed for a new hire here?
For a new hire, you have to have a social insurance number. That's pretty much the only legal thing.
And what are some examples of legal issues that Rouse Auto has faced? Or?
Don't run into a lot of legal issues if you know the labor standards and you work by them. You're usually pretty good. It is good to know what the employees can and can't do, and it's good for them to know what they can and can't do.
Do you, as a human resource manager, have any advice for me or my peers who would be pursuing a career in human resource management?
Be friendly, be nice, be polite, be up on the labor standards, know what you can and can't ask for questions when you interview. That's about it.
Thank you very much, Doug. Appreciate you taking the time to see us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, we're here with Douglas Hunt at Rouse Auto Supply to ask a few questions about human resource management. Doug, how long have you been working for Rouse?
I've been with Rouse for 20 years, 12 years as the general manager. I'm in charge of the day-to-day operations at Rouse Auto Supply, 6 locations. I hire counter staff. I leave it up to the managers to hire the yard staff. And when they need assistance, I help them out.
How many employees is Rouse currently?
We have 75 to 100 employees at any given time.
And when it comes to human resource management related problems or situations, you would be the man that handles it?
Yes, I take care of most of the problems.
Great. So what methods do you generally go about in the recruitment of new employees?
We usually run ads in the local papers. We have signs up at each location. We have a lot of customers that come in, and it's word of mouth. Some of them are looking for work. A lot of fellow employees, they've got relatives and friends that are looking for jobs, and they want to get into the automotive industry.
And how many stages are in your hiring process?
There's 4 stages roughly. Fill out the application, meet and greet, review the application, call them in, ask a few questions, see how they are, and if they get hired, they go on a 3-month trial period.
All right. And of the applicants who apply to job postings, how many usually proceed to the second stage of the hiring process?
Usually 1 out of 10. It depends if you're looking for employees. We have a lot of long-term employees, so we don't have a lot of staff turnover. Some of the beginning people, like at the yard stage, they're entering the automotive industry, and there you get a bit of a turnover because they get apprenticeships and stuff like that afterward.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of workplace safety training procedures are put in place for the new employees?
Every new employee has to fill out policies and procedures manual. In that, it covers safety, WMIS, different things like that.
Right.
What kind of mechanical and physical conditions do employees face on a daily basis at Wells?
For the mechanical part of it, they need to know the automotive parts. They need to know how they are put on the cars, how they come off, what their function is. Physically, if there's anything that's heavy that needs 2 people, they get somebody else to help them lift it. We have equipment for heavy lifting and things like that.
What kind of behavioral problems have you had on the job site that have led to unsafe working conditions?
Usually you don't have behavioral problems if you make it quite clear at the beginning that you want them to work safe and work as a team. You don't usually run into a lot of safety issues.
Is there any way you go about preventing workplace accidents?
Monthly safety meetings, working together, learning from each other the right way and wrong way to do things.
What kind of legal requirements are needed for a new hire at Wells Auto?
New hires would need a social insurance number, and that's about it.
Right. What are some examples of legal issues that auto supply companies such as Ralph's experience?
We don't run into a lot of legal issues. If you know the labor standards and the employees know the labor standards, Employment Standards Acts, you don't usually have a problem.
Well, Doug, do you as a human resource manager for Wells have any advice for my peers or I who would be pursuing a career in human resource management?
Yeah, be friendly, be happy, be nice, know the employment standards, know what questions you can and can't ask in an interview. And other than that, it should go good.
Great. Doug, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to see us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.